I have with me Mr. Ullas Kamath, the Joint Managing Director and CFO of Jyothy Laboratories. Thank you so much for speaking to Bloomberg Quint. I'll go with the most obvious question first. This time you announced that you're not going to extend the time period anymore for Henkel to acquire up to 26% stake, and also they've not exercised the option is what you've written. And you've also said that both companies are mutually exploring possibilities to work together going ahead. What are these kind of possibilities that we can see from your end?
One thing is that like the option agreement what we had for them to exercise 26%, it is no more there, and it is more or less I would say it is mutually agreed that they will not exercise the option for the simple reason that if the two companies have to work together, all the terms and conditions has to be finalized, and which we are not able to do it before the time what we had extended for the second time. Having said that, it's a great company to work with. My experience with them is for the last 8 years. We have not found any difficulties in working with them. The same case with them also. But this particular transaction has not happened, and we want to just put that behind us and explore the other possibilities, because for them India is a big market. For us, working with Henkel is a big thing because of the technology what they have, because of the product range what they have, and also the expertise what they have, global experience what they have. All those things excites us. So, looking at various other possibilities, trying to see how we can work together is what the way forward is what I think.
So, is there a possibility that you would get more of Henkel's products going down and probably pay a royalty for it?
Yeah, all those things are possibilities is what I can say. For example, I mean, to put it another way, that why is that Henkel wants to come to India is to bring their products. It's not there for them. It's not an investment. It is not as like a private equity. For them, it is a strategic investment to coming to India. For them, being their products is very very important for them, and they are 140-year-old plus company. So they will look at it India market from 10, 20, 30, 50 years point of view. Because of the same reason, I am very very confident that they need to come to India at some point in time. They can come on their own, they can come through us, they can come with anybody else, but definitely India market is something which they cannot ignore, and I am sure they won't. So in that context, any product is welcome, and we are hoping that something can work, but as any progressive company, we will have our own business plan to grow the way we wanted to grow in India, and that will be on all the ways.
Okay. Also, if you could elaborate, if in the near future, can we see you having more product in your portfolio from Henkel, because you have Prelent far for now, and that's doing well for you so far.
Yeah, at this point in time, I will not be able to commit on any product coming from their stable to us in the near future. Anything has to happen, it has to start from from the talking phase. So it takes its own time. But I can tell you that the couple of products you will see from our own R&D coming out in the marketplace before March 2018.
So what is the kind of products that we see from your portfolio?
We have launched a toilet cleaner a couple of months back in Kerala market as a test market. It's an organic toilet shine, which we launched a couple of months back. Initial response has been very optimistic, and we are happy about it. And once we stabilize our business in Kerala, probably we'll extend that to other markets. But that's the one product which we have launched, and other product I'll not be able to say because we are in a competitive market. But you will see one more product coming from our R&D before 31st March in the marketplace.
Okay. Now that you're also talking about product expansion, you've also mentioned in the past for some time now that you're looking at inorganic growth as well to expand, your revenues going forward. Which are the areas that we see you really looking to acquire companies?
For the company of our size, where our stronghold is manufacturing, sales, distribution, and also building brands. What makes sense for a company of our size and our kind of DNA, what I can say is that we need to be looking at regionally strong brands and take them national. Because there are good regional brands, they do not have the ability to take their brands nationally. And at the same time, it's not that easy to for regional brands to become national. So we have time and again we have proved in Maxo or Maxo, or we have proved in Henkel turnaround after acquiring them that we have that ability to take that regional brands as national brands. In the same way, we will be looking for any of the regional brands available at a price or at the terms which we feel that is fair and we look at it. Inorganic is a part and parcel of your growth. Organic, once it settles down, then you need to go through inorganic. Right now the management team is extraordinarily brilliantly they're giving us the results which you have seen in the last quarter. They've given us 9.6% top line growth and 46% bottom line growth. So while they concentrate on the organic growth, and I'll be looking for inorganic growth opportunities.
Okay, sir, in Ujala, and your growth was more or less stagnant during the quarter, and why is that stagnancy actually coming in? Is that because you've saturated the market? What is really happening on that front going ahead?
In all our portfolio of brands for the last quarter, the only brand which has not delivered the desired numbers is the Ujala fabric whitener. There is no as such, there is no saturation in the like a business as such. It's only that Kerala we depend more on rural market, and it is a wholesale driven in the rural market and also the Kerala market. Last quarter, every FMCG company had some kind of a problem with the Kerala market because the association there wanted higher margin. So that difficulty was there, and we depend a little more on Kerala market because usage of white is still high in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So to that extent, our sale was not as much as expected. Reason number one being Kerala market was little sluggish as far as the distribution was concerned, and rural India wholesale was not picking up as much we wanted them to because of the GST issues.
Okay.
I think in the coming 2 quarters we should be able to settle down.
Okay. So has the situation now with the distributors in Kerala, is there a conclusion to it?
Kerala is back. Last month has been good business we have done in Kerala. Kerala is back, but wholesale market, especially in Hindi belt area, for Ujala, according to me, it might take a couple of more quarters to settle down. Hopefully by March 2018, we should be settled down with Ujala issues in Hindi belt wholesale market because of GST issues.
Also, and sir, even Maxo didn't see very strong growth. What is the reason behind that? If you could elaborate a little more on that.
Maxo growth has come basically because of the liquid and the new machine what we have launched, and our new machine variant, which is a combo pack called Maxo Genius. It switches off and switches on based on the mosquitoes, like in the room, wherein the computer you need to switch on to the advanced mode on your own physically. So that is the highlight of our brand product, Maxo Genius, that we launched 4-5 months back with Madhavan as a brand ambassador, and good campaign we did, and we grew 146% in the last quarter, and that growth is still on. And it's heartening to note that 16% of our business in mosquito liquid comes because of the machine. So the more machine you sell, the more liquid you'll be able to sell subsequently. So that is growth in Maxo. What you see is primarily because of the launch of Maxo Genius.
Okay. Sir, in the quarter you reported a 3.5% volume growth. Going ahead, by when do we see your volume growth coming back in double digits?
According to me, the next year, 18-19, every company should be able to look at double-digit volume growth. Today's context, most of us, we are trying to fix our problem with GST compliance with till wholesale market. Today, distributors are fine and super stockists are fine, but the wholesalers are yet to recover in Hindi belt area. So I'll be personally happy if our sales to the top line GST comparable, if it is around 10 to 12% at the year end, we should be very, very happy. Volume growth will be about 6-7% by March 2018, but next year will be a good year for everybody with a double-digit volume and value growth.
Sir, even in the quarter, your margins witnessed some, it expanded during the quarter. Going ahead, how do we see these kind of margins expanding at the same rate, or how will raw material prices really play out for you? Because there is some, it's starting to expand now.
Yeah, good question. Our margin profiles, if you take weighted average for all the products wherein we are in the basket, what we deal with, 16 to 17% is what the EBITDA margin we can comfortably achieve with the kind of business in which we are at this point in time. And we would be spending more money on sales and advertisement, sales promotion advertisement going forward. If our EBITDA margin improves, probably we'll put that extra to get market share. So for March 2018, I feel 16 to 17% is what EBITDA margin I want to retain, and beyond that probably will be spending more money on sales and sales promotion advertisement. As of now, sales promotion advertisement we are spending about 14%, which is comparable to the industry, and any more we spend there, you can only expand your market and get the additional market share.
Okay, so your ad spends to sales will be how much?
14%.
Around 14%. And just to wrap up, if you could tell us what is consumer demand really looking like, and also give us some idea about the wholesale channel, and whether the channel is seeing some kind of a change after GST and.
Yeah. It is more or less it is the same way what we faced during demonetization a year back. South has completely settled down. West is like almost there. North and the East it's not completely settled down for us, and it's the same case with everybody else. And wholesale channel in the South is settled, but North and East is yet to settle. According to me, it might take a couple of more quarters till March 2018 for them to completely settle down with the compliant with the GST. And consumer demand across segments where we are present, it is normal, and there is nothing abnormal we are selling. There is nothing happening, but at the same time, there is no need to worry. Offtake is happening. Good monsoon has been a fillip for all of us to sell more in the rural market, and we are hoping that government is also spend a lot of money on social initiatives, because at the end of the day, rural India has to take the drive. Urban is already driving very nicely, double digit for us. Rural government has to spend money on social initiatives, so they get the money and they spend the money back on consumption.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you very much. Thank you.